Hello, dear students. Today we are going to talk about the literary stylistics, which is an important part of the subject stylistics. So let's enter and see how we can define this stylistics. Literary stylist is a branch of literary studies that focuses on analyzing linguistic and stylistic features of literary text. It involves examining how writers use language to create specific effects, convey meaning, and evoke certain emotions or responses from the readers. Stylistic analysis delves into the choices made by authors regarding vocabulary, sentence structure, imagery, tone, rhythm, and other elements of language. So, in this definition, there are many things which are important. For example, first of all, the important thing is analyzing linguistic and stylistic features of literary text. So, first of all, the text has to be literary, meant for literature, and if that is analyzed with respect to the linguistic aspect of that text and stylistic aspect of that text, that would be called as literary stylistics. Not only this, but also the examination of the writer's attempts to create certain specific effects or to try to convey certain meanings or to create certain emotional responses among the readers. Some hints are dropped by the writer. That study also would be called as literary stylistics. In the same way, this is also the delving deep into the choice of vocabulary by the author or by the writer and the sentence structure choice, imagery, tone, rhythm, and other elements of the writer. If we try to discover that, definitely we are involved in a literary stylistics. So, in this way, it's a very deep, very fascinating, very important analytical type of study which is called as literary stylistics. First of all, let us see what is this language choice thing. It is studying the words and phrases chosen by authors and how they contribute to the overall meaning and effect of the text. This includes examining connotations, denotations, and figurative language, such as metaphors, similes, and symbolism. So, how and when or what type of language choice is made by the writer, that is also to be seen as the first step in literary stylistics. It includes that we should try to know the words, how do they connote and how do they denote, what are the kind of meanings which they are suggesting, and what are the meanings for which they have been used, and then how has the writer used the figurative language. I mean, what is the importance given by the writer to metaphors or to the similes or to the symbols which he uses in his writing. So that depends on the choice of language the writer chooses. And then comes syntax and sentence structure. That's also important in literary stylistics. It means that we should be looking at the arrangement of words which has been done in the sentence and overall structures of the sentences within the text. So it has to be seen not only the arrangement of the words within the sentence but also inter sentences arrangement. This can include the good things like complexity, rhythm, but also some other things which are not that important. That is called the parallelism, inversion, and repetition. That means if the writer is using two things side by side, two aspects and two phenomena side by side, that is parallelism, and that if it is being contrasted by inverting one concept, and ultimately there could be the repetition style as well. So, if the writer is using the sentences like that, which indicate repetition, inversion, or parallelism, or it goes to talk about the complexity and rhythm or the sentence length, then definitely we are trying to engage with the syntax and sentence structure in the text, and that is also one of the parts of the literary stylistics. Not only this, these the sentences, but also the narrative perspective, which appears to be in the writings of a particular author, that also is the part of that. For example, when we try to see whether the narrating thing or the narrative has been done in the first person or in the third person, it has all its particular meanings and particular impressions. And we also see that how or what type of perspective is formed in the mind of the reader when he or she goes to read the story, and the characters that are understood by that reader. This also goes to show the narrative perspective. If the if the analytical person, if the stylistician is engaging himself in this type of study, we can see that he's looking at the narrative perspective of the text. Then we need to look at the tone and the mood of the text. In this, we try to investigate the emotional atmosphere which is created by the author through the choice of language, imagery, and other stylistic devices. It can, however, include how the tone and the mood shift throughout the text. I mean, it continuously shifts from one place to the other, one type to the other, and how does it contribute in conveying the overall theme or the message. So this is the way how we engage with the tone and the mood of the text, and that is also the part of the literary stylistics. Imagery and figurative language, again, it means that the use of the metaphors, similes, and other forms of figurative language to create a better version of the text by creating some evocative imagery and by enhancing readers' sensory experience and understanding of the text. If we are working on this kind of issue, we shall be trying to see about the imagery and about the figurative language and the parts of the figurative language. That also is a part of the literary stylistics. We also go to see how the speech pattern has been used or what type of dialoguing has been used in the text. This is particularly related to the examining the ways in which author represents spoken language through dialogue, including variations in dialect, register, and speech patterns, and how these contribute to character development authenticity. If we are doing this type of work, that is also the part of the literary stylistics. In the literary stylistics, some literary devices and techniques are also very important. Analyzing the use of literary devices such as irony, foreshadowing, allusion, and ambiguity, as well as the broader stylistic techniques such as the stream of consciousness or the unreliable narration. So it means that we are looking at the text in two ways. One, to see how irony is present, how foreshadowing is present. I mean, some of the hints which are dropped about the future or upcoming events, how allusions have been given to refer to a particular person or a place or a time, or how the writer has tried to raise ambiguity level so that our interest may be there for the sake of curiosity. And then some of the broader stylistic techniques where stream of consciousness or the narration which is not that reliable, that is also studied under this heading, and that also becomes the part of the literary stylistics. Literary stylistics are also depending on the intertextuality and the literary allusions. Everybody knows that intertextuality means to find out references to other literary works or cultural text or historical events within the text. If such a thing is given, that should be called as intertextuality. And with that, we can understand the meaning of the work, or the interpretation of the work becomes possible. And as a result, it is more interesting to read any text which has got certain elements of intertextuality in it. So, intertextuality in this regard is significant. We can also conclude right now, after going through all these things, that overall literary stylistics offers a methodical approach to understanding and appreciating the intricate ways in which language is used in literature to convey complex ideas, evoke emotions, and create aesthetic effect. So thank you for watching this. Hopefully some of the things have been understood and more will be clear in the upcoming days. Hope to see you soon in some next video. Till that time, if you like it, do not fail to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again.